Erasmus Plus project Designing Dialogue was implemented between 16th and 23rd of October 2017 in city of Sveta Nedelja in Croatia, with the aim to include young people from 4 European countries, Croatia, Romania, Spain and Turkey, into the process of dialogue between youth with decision makers. The organizer of the project was City of Sveta Nedelja from Croatia, and partner organizations were Municipality Bolanjec de Calatrava from Spain, Karšijaka Municipality from Turkey, and Center for Monitoring Public Policy from Romania. Project gathered altogether 37 participants, young people, decision makers and youth experts, as well as 3 members of project team. Martina Fabian as project coordinator and Ivan Duvnjak and Romina Galovic as workshop facilitators. On the day of arrival, participants were welcomed by Mayor of Sveta Nedelja, Mr. Drago Brahim, and Director of Sveta Nedelja Tourist Board, Mrs. Renata Vlahovic. Main goal of the project was to develop a coherent model of dialogue, a concept divided into steps that can be used in various situations to establish a constructive dialogue between youth and decision makers. Participants took part in interactive workshops based on the methods of non-formal education, during which they explored key concepts such as active citizenship, youth participation, dialogue and decision-making process.
Was written by 2 or 3 persons from the ministry.
On the next level, they were researching methods that can be used in the dialogue between youth and decision makers, such as consultations, informing, decision-making and public dispute resolution, as well as had the opportunity to point out positive and negative sides of each method.
Developing programs such as this, such as designing dialogue in Sveta Nedelja, I think it's a really good initiative for involving young people into the decision-making process.
I believe that decision makers are not afraid of opinion of young people, but they are sometimes afraid of reactions because they don't know how young people will react on some circumstances, and it could be a problem for them because of different opinions of decision makers and young people.
I think the decision makers are willing to include youngs in the decision-making process, but in Croatia, if you're not politically active, your voice is most likely not to be heard.
For me, I always want to be part of decision-making process, but sometimes it's really difficult to reach the decision makers. But I always want to create my own feature, and I don't want somebody decide for me and just say, yeah, this is it.
To create a full perspective of the topic, participants took part in a meeting with decision makers of City of Sveta Nedelja, where both sides delivered their opinions on what are the main obstacles for including young people in decision-making process and how to overcome them. After setting the basis, participants directed their efforts toward creating a unique model dialogue that was finally presented to local decision makers in City of Sveta Nedelja on public event. Special guest on the event was Mr. Davo Ivo Stier, Croatian representative in European Parliament, who wished a warm welcome to participants in Croatia and spoke about necessity to enhance cohesion within European Union, while pointing out the Erasmus Plus program as one of the methods towards reaching that goal. Model dialogue was presented by representatives from each participating country: Matej Anić-Matić from Croatia, Emilian Gelase from Romania, Inmaculada Bautista Gil from Spain, and Metin Savural from Turkey, to local decision makers of Sveta Nedelja.
If young people get increasingly involved in decision making, this means they will need to take us into account, and of course they just need to break the preconception of unexperienced young people do not count.
Decision makers direct all system under their control. If young people aware about the system, the decision makers afraid come up.
From my perspective, disobedience, civil disobedience, either organized or individual, is the extreme form of direct participation into the decision-making process. So if you have civil disobedience, it means that something went wrong along the way of deciding what a policy should look like. Maybe not all parties were involved or asked or determined. So we should see disobedience as the radical form and the most extreme one and the last resort for people who are either disenfranchised or were not involved or taken into account.
I think that young people know that they have rights. Even everybody talk about rights, but not everybody know what is the real meaning of rights, especially young people, because to have rights is to have a big responsibility.
Nema takvih ljudi da od nekoga ne možeš nešto naučiti. Znači, imate tu iz 5 zemalja ljude, od tih ljudi se može jako puno naučiti, počevši od svakodnevnog života pa sve do struke, do školovanja, do načina školovanja, načina kako to funkcionira u njihovim zemljama i tako dalje. Mladi moraju biti revolucionari. Ako su revolucionari, onda su pravi.
During the project, participants took part in free city tour of City of Sveta Nedelje, provided by Tourist Board of the city, as well as city tour of City of Zagreb. They visited car production factory Rimac in Sveta Nedelje as a successful example of youth entrepreneurship. Last day of the project, workshops were implemented in Camp Zagreb, where participants had the opportunity to enjoy beautiful nature in City of Sveta Nedelje. In follow-up phase of the project, local activities will be implemented in order to effectively disseminate project results and implement model dialogue in practice. Moreover, publication of the model dialogue will be spread among partner organizations and other stakeholders as a concept they can implement in future.